Hello, epic humans. Welcome back to the Real, Raw, Relatable podcast. I want to bring to you today the topic and theme of losing it. It being confidence, it being your connection to self, it being your connection to intuition, it being your belief in self, right? Insert whatever it might be when I say it. Because I think that there are times in our life, I know there are times in our life, many times in our life, where we do lose it. Connection to ourself, connection to source or the universe. We lose our sense of identity. We lose our authenticity, our belief in ourselves, etc. And that's normal. That's normal. That's okay. Why is it normal and why is it okay? It is normal because we have a part of ourselves that generally likes to hijack us being our true essence, our true nature. That part of ourself that hijacks us is our ego or our persona. The part of us who we think we have to be, how we have to show up in order to be liked, in order to be loved, in order to be accepted, in order to get the promotion, in order to get the whatever it may be. And when that part of us hijacks us, we lose connection to it, whatever it may be, because we make a trade. We go, oh, in order to be loved, in order to be liked, in order to be whatever it may be, I'm going to trade my authenticity, or I'm going to trade my intuition and what my intuition is telling me. I'm going to trade my belief in this particular value because this part of my persona is asking me to be X, Y, Z or do X, Y, Z. And so we trade. We do insider trading, right? You're doing your own stock trading with yourself. And often when we do that, yes, we may gain something for that little piece of time or for a period of time. But was that trade worth it? Was that trade worth losing your connection to self, connection to source, belief in that particular value? Was that trade worth losing it? Your sense of self, your orientation for what feels true or not true for you, good or not good for you. Was it worth that? And so across our lives, we are trading. We are insider trading. And we are constantly flipping between persona, true self, persona, true self, persona, true self. And this is why it's normal for us to lose it, whatever that it is for you. So it's normal. It's okay. We're all human. And that comes part and parcel. So if you are at a place in your life where you have lost something, you have done an insider trade and you're like, fucking, that was shit. That was shit. Or maybe you have done insider trading for a long time and you've been trading your intuition for a long time for something else. You've been trading your sense of self in order to fit in for a long time. And it's wearing thin. You're like, I fucking don't know where I am anymore. I don't know how to unlose it. I don't know how to find me. I don't know where the frickin' compass is, let alone the map. If you are in that place in your life, just breathe for a minute. And first, let's just acknowledge it's okay. It is normal. If you've done it for a really long time, I wish I could move through the screen and move through the microphone now and give you a big fat fucking hug, because you probably need it. You probably need that big hug. But in this very moment, I can't. So you got to give yourself that hug. You got to give yourself that acknowledgement of going, all right, I have been insider trading between my persona and between fucking some really important things that matter. My intuition matters to me. My sense of self matters to me. These particular values matter to me. My sense of what's true and what's true, not true, matters to me. And let me just acknowledge and admit, cool, I've made some shitty trades. And yes, I might have got a quick gain, but over the long run, I've suffered. And I've worked with many women who have done this, particularly in marriages, particularly when they have gotten married really young, in that particular generation where you're like, you just got to fucking stick it out, you know, get married young, have kids, give up whatever it is that you want to do. And that was just normal. That was the way to go. It wasn't choice. It's cool if you choose that, fucking power to you. But when that's not your choice and it's just you're on a conveyor belt of, yep, this is the thing I should do. This is the thing I should do. This is the thing I should do. That fucking sucks. And that's typically the people who I've worked with before, the women who I've worked with before, who have traded themselves and what they believe in and what feels good for them at that time and what doesn't. And if having a child at that time was right, or even fucking saying yes to the person that asked them to marry them was right or not. Most of them come to me and say that like they just didn't have that connection to self because for so long they were trading to do the right thing by their culture or by their religion or by society or by their parents. And 20, 30 years later, they're in my space and they're in my field and they're like, I fucking don't know where I am. And that's okay. In those particular instances, I actually can give them a hug. But if you're in that place right now, like I said, let's just acknowledge you're here. It's all right. But now that you're acknowledging, you've got awareness with you. You've got awareness with you. And with that awareness, now's the time to fucking sit. And let that sitting in quiet space, in reflective space, be the hug that you're giving yourself. Be the hug that I can't physically give you, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to give this to myself. And as I sit and reflect and be in quiet and be in space, I'm going to hold a mirror up to myself and really ask the question, what is this insider trading? What's it doing to me? What is this doing to me? What is it eating at? What is it eating away? What is it gnawing at inside of me? And what is the cost of that? Can I carry that burden for another day, for another week, for another 10 years? Can I continue to inside trade like this? And if I do, if in a week or in a month or in a year or in 10 years, what will I lose then? If I have lost this up until this point, what will I then possibly lose in that time frame? This doesn't seem like a warm and fuzzy hug, but this is a fucking, I've got you. I've got you. As you ask these hard questions, you hold yourself in quiet space. You give yourself that time to reflect. That is the holding. As you then look within. Because I don't know about you, but I've lost a lot of shit over my time. I've lost my sense of self. I've lost my own direction of how to direct my life, of what feels good for me. I've lost my intuition. I've lost my authentic essence because I have traded that for fitting in, for being liked, for, please, anyone, someone, love me. And so as a result, what have I lost as a result of that? I've lost fucking self-love as well. I've lost self-respect. I've lost self-worth. Because that need and desperation for love, to be liked, to fit in, the things that I've accepted, the things that I've let go, the things that I've zipped my lip on and shut up on and not voiced, because that need has overpowered what actually matters, the deeper things that matter. And like I said, I know that you too will have experienced this, or currently you are. And if you are, my pledge to you today, my ask for you today, is go into that big hug. Hold yourself in space, in quiet, in reflection, and ask those questions that I posed just a few moments ago. Rewind this, replay it, get a journal, put those questions down and answer them in that holding space. Because like I said in the beginning, it's okay to lose it, whatever it is. But it is your responsibility to claim it back. Only you can do that. You can't change your entire reality before you can claim that back. You may need to change parts of your reality. You can't expect others to change in order for you to claim that back. That's on you first. And like I said, yes, there are areas of your life you may shift, you may change, you may alter in order for that, whatever it is, to come home. But please don't expect others to change or the world having to change before you do. That's on you. And it may suck to admit that. It may suck to assume that responsibility. But that's true ownership of your life. That's true ownership of yourself. That's true ownership of where you are at in your life. So like I've said, if you feel like you have lost it, confidence, authenticity, self-respect, self-love, belief in yourself, whatever it may be, connection to your values, give yourself a hug. Go into quiet space and hold, reflect, journal, answer these questions, because that is one sure way that you can begin your next step to reclaiming whatever you think you have lost or whatever you have lost back.